Good day, everybody. Today, I just wanted to talk quickly about protein. So, protein is something that we tend to try and focus on for our clientele, especially when they're trying to, irrelevant of trying to gain weight or lose weight. From a weight loss standpoint, which is where we get most of our questions and the clientele that we work with most often, the upside to getting extra protein in are going to be the biggest upsides are going to be an increased rate of satiety. So I feel fuller for longer between meals, which of course is a good thing because as I'm dieting, it's more or less inevitable that I'm going to feel hungry at times. And so, in any sort of way, when we can counter that and fight that, it'll make sure that we aren't going through as many circumstances where we're feeling the need to hold off from eating and fight back from having a snack that we know we shouldn't really have because of how hungry we are and just making those bad decisions. So that's probably the biggest thing. The other thing that's pretty important too is, of course, lean muscle. So lean muscle, lean tissue in general, organs, bone, all that kind of stuff. The building blocks of all that is protein, right? So as we start to try and make the attempt to lose weight, if we are losing weight, there is a chance that we could potentially lose lean muscle mass at the same time. So the number one way to prevent that is by doing strength training in your daily routine, in your weekly routine. The other would be to make sure that you're getting ample enough protein to essentially act like the soil within this tree that you're trying to grow. So giving your body the right nutrients to allow the lean muscle to flourish, potentially grow a little bit more. And as a female, there's really no risk of overdoing it and becoming bulky or anything like that sense. So with those two things said, if you're somebody that has healthy kidneys and a healthy body and you have no known ailments, then there's not really a risk of taking too much. There's some ideals. And then if there's any sort of underlying kidney disease or anything like that that you're aware of, hopefully you are if you have it, then there's a little bit more of a limitation that you want to put on your protein intake. But all in all, most of us probably don't get enough protein for the activity and for the lean muscle that we're trying to build through the process of trying to lose weight and increase our metabolism and yada yada. So you can get it through whole foods, which we highly recommend doing, but we also all live pretty busy lives. So the other couple of ways that become pretty consistent staples in those that find success through the long haul is throwing in some sort of protein shake into their repertoire. And it doesn't necessarily have to be every single day, but it's a great go-to for those days where you know you're going to be a little bit more on the go and you're more likely to grab a piece of pizza at the gas station. But if I have something like a Quest bar that has 5 net carbs, 1 gram of sugar, 20 grams of protein, something like this is great to travel with in your car, so it can hold you over when you're doing a lot of that. Or you can get something, and we like Quest just because of the ingredients within. You don't have to get Quest, but something like a protein powder. Protein powder would be really beneficial with a protein shake of sorts, making some sort of smoothie, adding in some greens and some other fiber, and kind of making a nice meal replacement. Making sure that meal replacement smoothie has protein is going to hold you over for a lot longer than just, say, blending up some fruit and having a fruit smoothie would. Those two upsides, probably the biggest reasons to get protein supplements if you find that you're not getting them consistently throughout your day, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it doesn't matter. But I could probably say there's at least one meal throughout the day that we all know that we don't get enough protein. Many of us are probably guilty of that the most at breakfast, unless you're eating eggs every single day. You have bagels and muffins and cereals and all this kind of breakfasty type of foods, and not many of them come with a good amount of protein. So if you can swap out what you're doing for breakfast that's probably a little high in carbs and switch it out for something like a protein shake, the likelihood that you'll see better results more long term are going to be compounded immensely. So if you have questions on it, don't hesitate to ask any of the coaches, but that's your little supplement tip of the day.